Welcome to SoulInterviews.com.
Taking it deeper.
This is David Craig for SoulInterviews.com. It's my pleasure to be catching up with none other than Emeli Sande, 21-year-old up-and-coming pianist, singer and songwriter, who's currently causing quite a stir on the UK scene. She takes her influences from the likes of Nina Simone, Regina Spektor and Mos Def. Her style has been described as soulful and eclectic. Her voice is fresh and contemporary, but always reminiscent of something classic. Adele, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
So what's been going on in your life recently?
Heaps actually, like with music. Last year was really quite productive for me, so 2009's been quite good so far. Only been 2 months, but quite a lot.
So definitely lots of things to look forward to, but before we go any further, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, my name's Emeli Sande. I grew up in Aberdeen, and that's where I kind of started doing my music there. I began singing when I was about 7, and then we got a piano, and I just kind of taught myself how to play piano when I was about 12, and then from then on just experimenting with different sounds and writing my own songs. And then since I was about 15, that's when I started kind of trying to get into the industry, getting management, just trying to work my way.
Now, I think the first experience I had of you were probably in your teenage years. You were on the back of a float, singing, going through the city centre, and at that time I thought, that girl has definitely got something special, definitely something to look forward to, so I'm glad to see kind of 8-10 years later you're still pursuing a dream.
Yeah.
So when did it actually start for you? When did you realise I've got a little bit of talent and I want to make this my future as such?
I mean, when I started singing, I knew I always liked music, but it was when other people started to recognise, oh, she's quite good at that. That's when you start to believe, oh, maybe I could do this. So all the way through school, I was the person who did music. I was the person who sang, and then I've just always thought that could be something I could do, and people like to hear it. So
let's talk about your inspirations. What moved you, or what inspired you to follow the artistic direction that you've gone down the route of?
I mean, when I started playing, it was because I'd heard Nina Simone like 2 weeks earlier. I just heard her playing and just thought, I need to learn how to do that. You know, I need to learn how to write and to create something that just touches you instantly. But I mean, for singing, it was people like Mariah Carey, I mean, the standards. And then as I got a bit older, I started exploring stuff. You know, like you said, Regina Spektor, the way she writes is just so out of the box, it's completely out there, but people still get it all around the world. So, I mean, I just have so many different influences for different things that I try and do.
Just about every review I've seen of you or your music, your uniqueness has always been stated. So is that something that's important to you in order to stand out, or is it something that just pretty much comes naturally?
Yeah, I think it just comes naturally. I've always been a bit strange, so I think that just comes out when I'm doing music. Yeah, it's really important for me just to be myself and to do something a bit different, so I don't blend into. I really just don't want to be a good voice, because I think there's many of those. I think it's important that you bring something different to the table.
But more specifically, how would you describe your sound, like the vibe that you're trying to bring?
I mean, whenever I write a song, I just try and make it as raw as possible and as soulful as possible, but trying to stay out with the cliches of, you know, soul music. I just want to make it as honest, really, as I can. So that's all I try and do when I'm writing. So
when you're writing, are most of these songs about things that you're going through or things that friends are going through?
It's a mixture. I mean, if I'm going to write about somebody else's experience, I try and make sure I can relate to it in some way, or I can empathise with it. I don't know, usually it's stuff I've been through myself.
Right, one that's been going on in my mind since I heard you perform it on Saturday night past at the Carmel Lounge is it called Booty Call? Or go and explain that for us.
It's funny, my dad asked me the same question. Booty Call, well, that, you know, was about somebody else.
You gotta say that, haven't you? Just in case your dad's listening.
I think it was just about using that term and that phrase, booty call. I mean, we kind of use it as a joke. You know, if I have a friend, I'm like, oh, you're such a booty call for going over when this guy calls.
I can't believe that someone like you could make me act so weak.
But then one time, you know, one night, my friend was really, really upset about it. So it really made me think that it's not funny if you're really in the situation. So that's what Booty Call was about.
Any other songs in particular you wanna chat about that you've written recently, which are personal to you or which are important to you?
The new songs I have, there's one called Maybe. That's really about kind of the end of a relationship. I enjoyed writing that one. My favourite song that I've written is called Patchwork Dentist. That song I wrote in about half an hour, but it kind of describes, I mean, each verse, if you listen to it, goes through, it's about something ending. If you have a relationship with anything, with a person or with drugs or with, I don't know, something you're obsessed with, kind of how it starts off great, it starts off really sweet and just amazing, and then slowly you get more and more involved in the world, and you don't take anything else into consideration. At the end of the song, they're in bed and there's fire and they're dying.
That's not the end I was expecting, but interesting. We'll look out for that one.
Smoke, we smoke while we sleep now. Burning holes in the sheets now.
Another song which kind of defines you for me is Baby's Eyes. That's something that really, really caught my attention, and I thought this girl's arrived and she's established some sort of maturity as a songwriter, and that was when I started really paying attention for you. So tell us a little bit more about that one.
His kiss, it feels like he stole the sun and saved it just for me.
Baby's Eyes. That was when I first fell in love with somebody. And I guess before that, you know, I'd written songs and they'd just been about, you know, stuff you go through when you're 15 or 16. But that was really the first time where I felt compelled to write something about love and actually mean every word. So yeah, Baby's Eyes was quite a kind of a milestone in what I was doing, because it was the first song where every time I sing it, you know, it feels different for me, but it still feels like something that's completely me and completely how I feel.
He's got the kindest eyes, he's got the brightest eyes you've ever seen. When you look into them, there's no way you refuse them, and his eyes are only for me. Yeah.
What are you working on right now then?
Right now, well, I've just been going back and forth to London trying to build up more songs and trying to look at different ways of songwriting, some things that could be a bit more commercial, just to kind of get the other end of what I do, because I love, you know, sitting down at the piano and writing soul songs and doing that style of things, but I think it's important that you learn the other side of doing things so you can kind of balance it up.
Obviously, I guess when a project has got to be a commercial element to get you to the masses and the...
I guess so, but I guess it's the art of kind of making it commercial but still making it relatable and making it true and not making it phony. So
obviously you're working towards an album right now.
Yeah. More, I'd call it more of a portfolio to kind of give to the majors or give to different people, just to let them hear what you're doing, and then after that we can start choosing songs. Which do we want to be on an album? Any
collaborations that you've been working on at the minute?
Yeah, the producer that I've been working with in London, I got on the new Bashy album that's coming out, and the new Chipmunk album, and it's going to be the new single as well, so that's a big collaboration for me.
There are, and 2 UK artists also, which I guess is quite important to you.
Yeah, I really love their stuff, and they're bringing something completely original, so I was really honoured to be put on those projects. Also, another thing that
kind of caught my ear with you, especially when you're playing live, is the covers that you've chosen. And not only the covers that you've chosen, but how you interpret them yourself, like the ODB cover.
Yeah, that was really funny. Because, as I said, like my background in music is just really eclectic. So I love listening to hip hop, but I just find it quite hard to bring that into my own music because I was, you know, I didn't have a big beat behind me, but I thought, why not? So the ODB cover, Baby I Got Your Money, just had a few simple chords and then sang his rap. And then when I do it with the band, it brings something completely different. And I love doing stuff like that, just put my own twist on it.
It really does work as a soulful song, which you would never think about a song by an artist called Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah. Try and put some lady elements into it.
Dirty, baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Said, hey, baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Said, hey, baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Said, hey, baby, I got your money.
So what else have you covered, just from memory? Stevie Wonder, you've also covered Stevie Wonder a couple of times in live sets now. Has he been a big influence on you so far?
Yeah, definitely. I think any soul singer that says he wasn't an influence is lying. I love Stevie Wonder. So it wasn't as, I mean, we couldn't really put too much of a twist on that song because it's just, I love singing how it is. But that was a lot of fun to do that.
So what do you think actually sets you apart as an artist?
I guess, I mean, all I can really do is bring something on that's honest to me. And I just think that if I'm just trying to bring as many influences as possible. I don't want to go down an R&B route. I don't want to go down, electro route. I just want to bring everything together and bring it with a good performance and bring it with a good voice. So that's what I think I'm bringing. And I think a lot of people, especially in the UK with soul, it just kind of, it goes down one street and there isn't any kind of variation. So I just want to kind of mix it up a bit.
I keep on mentioning you live. You are getting a reputation as being a great live artist, somebody that's fun to go and watch, and I think that really comes across when you perform as well, because you look like you're having an amazing time on stage.
Yeah. As soon as, I used to perform just with the piano, so as soon as I kind of got a bit of freedom from the piano, I really enjoyed it. So I love performing live because you can just take risks and do things that are a wee bit different. I love performing.
How about your thought, if everything works out the way you want, your thoughts on fame itself?
It would just be amazing to have a lot of people knowing your songs, and not worrying if like only a few people are going to turn up to your gigs. I think it would just be fantastic to kind of just have your music out there. That's all I've thought about so far.
And what about the age-old question of success against artistic direction? Do you think there's going to come a time where you're going to be under pressure to produce a certain sound, or do you always want to maintain an element of individuality?
I always want to be individual and do my own thing, but I can understand how you might be under some compromise to do that, especially when you're first starting off, because people are like, just do this, this and this, and that will open a door. But then you have to weigh up, do you really want your first step to be something that isn't you? So I feel like I've kind of battled with those two things already, but I feel you just have to be strong in what you want to do and what you feel is right, but be able to take a bit of advice from people in the business who know what they're saying.
In terms of ambitions within the music industry, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be?
I just want to be in a position where I'm comfortable to do my own thing and to have people around me that trust what I'm doing and have people waiting to see what I'm going to do. So just be in a position where I can release music and a lot of people will be there to listen to it. This is Emeli Sande for soulinterviews.com.
soulinterviews.com. Taking it deeper.